Sean said something to me that sticks with me to this day. I called him one day and I was just talking and I said, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been thinking about just offing myself. So there's been, when I was working in Newport News, and at the time, my son Yasir and Leslie were in Maryland, and so I'd get off my job at like maybe 10 o'clock at night, and I'd drive to Maryland for the weekend to be with them, and so it got overwhelming. And it got to the place to where I called them one day and I was like, look, man, I don't think I can do this much longer. I said, I really am, I've seen myself driving across this bridge and just grabbing that wheel, throwing it to the right and just off the side. I've seen it. I've seen myself drifting over to the left on purpose, head on, and just being done. And so he said, he prayed and he said, but one thing you got to understand and realize is suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
That's good.
Bro, that thing stuck. It stuck with me and stuck with me to this day.
Crazy
because the issues that we have and those problems are only temporary.
Yep.
But if you can't see through the other side, and you, for whatever reason, it's like, I can't take it no more.
Yeah.
And then you got to think, well, now what kind of problems do I create for other people?
Yeah.
What do you think, with at the time, Yasir, my oldest son, what would he have to deal with? One, his mother dying in the hospital, from that situation. But then now his dad killing himself. Like, what would that have done to him? What would that have done to my parents? My sisters, my friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? How much would that have put on them? Well, dag, man, why weren't we there to help him? Why didn't he call, or why didn't I do such and such?
Or why didn't he care about me enough to, you know what I'm saying? I got a friend of mine right now whose father committed suicide. Yeah. He's still mad at him for the reason of you didn't care enough.
Right.
Yeah. So it could be taken a lot of different
ways. Yeah. So two things on that is, one, thanks for the bravery of sharing all that, because absolutely you shared details. Now I didn't even know. And I think two things we hope. One, if you've lost somebody to suicide, or you've lost somebody to suicide, and all the thoughts from sadness to rage to whatever they can pop up. One, we're not jabbing at them for being weak.
No.
You know what I mean? Because one decision and Jay was gone. You know what I'm saying? So like, he's being very transparent with that, I think. And if I'm not trying to speak for you, so jump in if I'm saying something wrong. But like,
don't speak for me, man.
Well, blur his face out.
Blur his face again.
Fix the audio.
You good. Yeah.
But we don't know the pressures people face on their own in their head.
That's a fact.
And never would judge somebody for those decisions. Two, if that is you, and that's a decision that you're thinking about, contemplating, going through, or have experienced, we're praying this conversation saves your life.
Yes.
And that you will realize that you're much more valuable and important than you feel, realize, or even comprehend at the moment. And we need you here.
Yes.
We don't. If you leave, we're worse off because you're gone, and we're never going to get you back.
Yes.
There's blessings for you and others on the other side of this.
Big facts.
Yeah.
So, so even if you don't feel it, please hang on. There's somebody's life who's going to benefit from you being here. Your trauma can heal. Find some therapy, some professional counseling, a good church, something. Please hang on, because we want this to save your life.
And at the end of the day, a lot of people, they go through these situations, and the first things they ask is, well, why me? Why me? God, why me? Why
Valid
me?
question.
Why me? And so for me, my thought process is, it's you, because once you're able to get on the other side of this thing, there's so many people that you're going to be able to help.
That's a fact.
Right.
That you're going to be able to have a conversation. It's hard to have a conversation with somebody about smoking crack
if they ain't never smoked crack. You're being qualified by being a crack smoker.
Yeah. That's real hard to do. And so for me, being able to talk to somebody about losing a spouse.
Yeah.
And not only losing a spouse, but then being able to make it through
Yep.
to where now I'm remarried.
A lot of people can't even see
Right.
that far
Right.
ahead in the game.
Right.
Remarried,
You can show it.
loving wife,
Yeah.
a loving family.
Shout out to Leisha.
Yeah, babe. Hey, babe. I got all these cameras. Hey,
Look at that
hey,
when to
babe.
get the brownie points
Hey,
that you're trying to reach
hey,
for.
hey,
right now.
babe. Hey,